Hello again, part 4. So I'm going to go over 7 things you can do to help you stay away or lessen the impact of negative people in your life, especially because they're always around us, right? So I'm going to have to put my trusty glasses back on, and here we go. Okay, so number 1. Lessen your exposure. Cutting certain people out of our life may not be possible. Family, sometimes can't cut them out. Sometimes you can. I'm good at that. Okay, cutting certain people out of your life may not be possible or even good for us, especially if it is a relative who is causing you grief. But what we can usually do is limit our exposure to the offending person. We can ask ourselves how much time we really want to spend with a particular negative person. We can ask ourselves if we are just meeting up with them out of habit or if the relationship adds to our lives more than it takes away. These questions can help us to see that there is usually not only an opportunity to lessen our exposure, but they will also highlight the benefit of doing so. So you sit there and you question yourself, okay, is it good? Is it bad to hang out with this person? How do I feel when I'm with them? How do I feel once I've left their side? How does being around them impact me and impact my life, right? So you have to be very real with yourself. Don't brush it off as, well, they're family, or, well, I've known them for 20 years. I've had that issue recently where I've known somebody for almost 30 years, one of my bestest friends ever, wonderful, wonderful person, but extremely negative, toxic, and extremely just a victim all the time. And like I told you in one of my old videos, it's like they'll always tell you, well, I really was a victim. And in all reality, anybody can perceive that. Anybody can perceive themselves as a victim no matter what. You can do anything. There's things that bad things happen to everyone, and you can victimize yourself and sit there and in that cloak of victimhood, forever, and then you're never gonna. If you don't get out of that, you're not gonna have a happy life. I remember hearing, if you want a happy life, you have to have a short memory, right? So don't dwell on things. Like me and my sister were talking the other day about how we'll literally meet up with people that we forgot didn't like us for whatever reasons they have made up in their own heads, because I know I'm an amazing person. So, no, I really am, though. I mean, y'all know this, I think. But, and we'll completely forget, and we're just completely like, oh, hi, whatever. And I'm naturally just a positive person. So naturally, I'm going to be like, oh, hi, I'm going to smile, I'm going to wave, I'm going to do whatever. And then usually, afterward, it's like, oh, they didn't particularly like me, whatever. And, but we didn't even think about that because we were raised, or I guess we're the kind of people that we don't hold grudges for any reason. There's no reason to hold a grudge. That's, I think that Buddha said, when you have anger, and I see this as holding grudges too. So when you stay angry or hold a grudge, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. You're literally poisoning yourself. And this is something that it's true, though, on so many levels. So just remember that. So lessen your exposure. Work on your own sense of self. Having a strong sense of who you are makes it easier to deflect the negative criticisms of others. People judge us on their own set of damaged foundations. Knowing who we are and what our values are builds up a defense against the judgment of people who haven't got a clue. So, just remember that too. I always used to tell people, the monster that somebody else sees in you is actually the monster within themselves. So same with you. The monster that you see in other people is literally the monster in you. So your perception is going to influence how you see other people. And that's your perception is going to influence how you see other people. Remember this, because this is really, really important. You can't sit there and be like, well, oh, they're blah, 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 blah. Whatever you want to say, I do not like gossip. I don't like gossip. I don't talk crap about people. I just don't like doing that. It's not who I am. And I guess in a way, I remember my grandmother telling me one time, I remember being at her house. Her and my aunt were outside on the porch, chit-chatting, you know, one of those old porches with all the plants everywhere and the flowers, whatever. They were out there talking, and I went out there, and I remember we were talking, and my grandma told me this saying in Spanish. I am 100% Mexican, by the way. But she told me this saying in Spanish that basically meant that I believed that everyone has a heart like mine. Like everyone in the world has a heart like mine. And she was telling me that I'm going to be greatly disappointed. That this isn't a good way to be, because it was in a way making me naive. And I understand that. I mean, when I remember the first time that I realized, this is going to sound funny to you guys. I'm telling you my level of innocence, okay? So I remember I was about 15, 16 years old, between 15 and 16 years old, when I first realized that people actually lie, like all the time. I was raised to never lie. Like, my stepfather beat the lies out of me, basically. So, like, I never lied. I remember growing up, and when I was little, because when you're little, you sometimes you get scared and you just want to lie, right? Because you're just scared you're going to get in trouble. So I did that, what normal kids do. My stepfather did not like liars for nothing, and he was very verbal about it. And so he was like, I hate liars, and would get crazy and like spank us or throw us in the corner on our tiptoes or whatever. We would have to get in the corner on our tiptoes for hours. Yeah, I ended up building some strong calves when I was little. But anyway, so like we have to remember that it's just, I don't know, I'm sorry, the story went completely sideways, and I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, so that, just remember that, okay? You have to understand the source of the other person's negativity, right? I'm going to try to read without the glasses because they're bothering my nose and everything because I'm not used to it. But, okay, so, understand the source of others' negativity. People who bring us down are often projecting their own negative views of themselves on us. That's something that, like, my boyfriend is constantly telling me, like, because oh my God, we've gone through so much stuff. And so now we've gotten to the point where we actually have good one-on-one conversations, and we'll discuss things with each other, and we'll be like, okay, well, this is how I was feeling, or this is what's going on, and this is how I'm honestly being towards you, and this is why I'm being this way, and I know it has nothing to do with you, kind of talks, right? And so he's been telling me that he knows that he's projecting, and he knows that when he talks to me or he's looking at me, it's like he's looking into a mirror, right? Because he's looking at everything that is in him. Like I said, the monster you see in other people is actually the monster within you. So just, oh my God, that's such an important one to remember, because when you do that, when you remember that, you realize that it isn't them. It has nothing to do with them. It has to do with you. And yeah, so I'm gonna go to a part 5, and I love you guys. Remember, you're not alone. I'm about to record part 5. Love you. Bye.